E-Myth, E-M-Y-T-H. E-Myth for Entrepreneur Myths. Michael Gerber wrote this book, gosh, probably 35 years ago. I think he's 86 now and still kicking. He wrote the book, E-Myth, Why Small Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It. And basically in that book, he was interviewing a lady that owned a bakery. And she made a great pie that her mother showed her how to make, that her grandmother showed her how to make, and but great grandma, her mom's mom had all passed this down, and they made this amazing pie, right? So she starts a bakery, and this whole "you are not your work." She went into business to open a bakery because of this pie was the driving force. And what Michael was interviewing her about is she wasn't a good business person. She had gotten to the point where, she's waking up at 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning and working till 6 or 7 o'clock at night, balancing the books. And it just took over her life. So she was this bakery. And actually, I know how real that is because my first wife, I helped her get a bakery. And so I knew she was like going in at 2 in the morning and working till 4 or 5 in the evening. And even our kids were like helping out and working there every once in a while. So the point of this was that he started interviewing her and realizing that it was kind of revolving around this pie. And so he had her, she showed him how she made the pie. And he's like, couldn't you just show that like your mother showed you and like your mother's mother showed her and your great grandma showed her daughter? Can't you just document that and just show someone how to do that so it's not you making this pie? And so they talked about systems, and that is actually the core of most of what I share around here is I basically did the E-Myth book cover to cover 20 something years ago and just started documenting, systematizing, so that everything could be duplicatable. And I love that, when we talk about these principles that they talk about in the E-Myth, there's actually another book. He wrote a whole E-Myth series. So the E-Myth Mastery book, Michael talks about the core principles like the principle of life, the law of objectivization. That's always a tough one for me to say. Working on the business, not in the business. That's something we've heard in the coaching world a lot and share a lot, but systemization and business development cycles. And one of the things he talked about is the law of objectivization. See, I got to pick the one I can hardly say, right? Um, View your business as separate from you, like a product. So you will be able to reinvent it. It is about taking a step outside of your business and looking at it objectively. And then the working on your business and not in it. And I know I'm just throwing the ham on the table here. I know you haven't even had your orange juice yet, but we're going right to the stuff here.
Right to the entree, right to the entree.
So working on your business, not in it. The business as a whole, whatever you do, and when I say business, I just want you to say, when we say you are not your work, it's your business, it's whatever you do. Your business or your work as a whole is the product, not the things or the service or the business, what the business produces. You need to focus on building your business, not merely just cranking out your job, showing up 9 to 5 and just doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it. And I just want to make sure there wasn't anything else I wanted to hit on. Oh, this one, the business development cycle. The task of the owner or you in whatever job or role or work you're doing is continuous development of the business, job, work, whatever, through the ongoing process of innovation, quantification, and orchestration. So again, big words, man. We just put the whole freaking ham bone on your plate on this one. So what this is what we're saying here is separate you from whatever you're doing so that you can look at it differently. Like if you're showing up for a job that you don't like, I mean, then, and you are what you do, then you're not going to like you're just going to be miserable. So separate yourself from that and look at how do I make this the best that I can possibly make it. And again, this is another thing I share. I think this is a book to be written for kids is whatever job that you have, think of your very first job that you had. Mine was like McDonald's. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was horrible. I went there to get the money, but the work and the stuff you had to do was just a horrible experience as a kid and a lot of what I had to do growing up. And if whatever situation you're in is not your favorite thing or you don't like, just can you imagine people just going in and clocking in with it just oh boy, here we go again. It's like they're getting ready to go to bed when they clock in and then they do their work. How are you going to see any kind of opportunity to move up and out of there if you're just miserable all day long? Because that's going to show up through your work and everything. So make it the most awesome thing and separate yourself from that job or that role. And then how do I blow this thing out of the water and just make it absolutely amazing for the consumer and everyone I work with and that experience? Because then other opportunities are going to show up to be able to pull you out of it. So I think there's a book in there somewhere that I might have to write someday on just no matter what situation you're in, do the absolute most amazing Disney like work with it so that the next opportunity can show up and pull you out of there. And it's a stepping stone. So just separating yourself from your job, your work, your business, so you can look at it objectively would be what I would share.
I was behind the scenes, guys. I took my the pen that I use normally at my desk. I left the cap off, and I like felt tips. Coach Corn, I'm going to have to ask you for notes because that was a soliloquy of some power, and I didn't get to write notes because I was running around looking for an actual ballpoint pen, so I
I
couldn't take
got you.
notes. But 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 that really was powerful, and I thank you so much for that. And the book that you said was the E-Myth, correct? I'm wondering maybe we should throw it up if you can. Do you know how to add
Yeah.
a link?
Yep. I've done that before. I'll do it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So I mean, I think that when our identity is intertwined in